On April 25th, 1986, Tchernobyl explosion atomique. Radioactive cloud is blown westwards. Westwards is Lithuania. It's not the first time something wrong comes to Lithuania from east. We have that experience. Therefore, things from the west are so much more awaited. But they don't reach Lithuania easily either. These two pilots tried to fly from New York to Kaunas 8 years ago, and look what's happened.
Crashing into a wood 100 miles beyond Berlin, the Lituanica, bound from New York to Lithuania, had crumpled up and killed her two Lithuanian-born pilots instantly. Now the ambulance has arrived, and the bodies are being taken away.
So when the radioactive cloud reaches Lithuania the next afternoon, the reaction is none. The afternoon is nice, sunny and hot as an April afternoon in Lithuania can be. Mothers think it's good for their babies to get some fresh air. The air isn't fresh though. They should be hiding in a dark basement, but nobody tells them. Even in Chernobyl itself, women with kids promenade on that day. The evacuation would start only in 2 days after the explosion, when the women and kids would be so poisoned they would die soon. Lithuanian women do not die, neither they kids. But those born in 1986 and 1987 are Chernobyl generation anyway, affected indirectly. When these kids grow up, it turns into a good excuse. Sorry, nothing is my fault. I'm Chernobyl kid. Blame the radiation. What a joke. These are the real Chernobyl kids. Do you feel pity? If you do, is pity bigger than the wish to see another picture with another mutation? Don't be ashamed. We all like looking at them, abnormalities. It's the same reason why we watch horror films. You are scared, it's no good, but you want to be scared at the same time. You want to leave the cinema and still you stay. Repellent and attractive are two sides of the same coin. Just like life and death cannot exist one without another. Like paradise and hell are two ends of the same axis. Same town, April 27, Monday, 1986, 9 a.m. At 3 p.m., it's absolutely dead. Ideal socialist town turns into a ghost town in a matter of hours. Communist ghost town. A proof that you cannot create paradise on earth. It must be up there, unreachable, because paradise is paradise only until you get there. Most towns on earth are neither paradise nor hell, just human. For example, this is Reykjavik. As most towns on earth, Reykjavik is the result of a natural human development. It means that long ago people found this place comfortable for living and started building the town. Slowly, according to their needs. Meanwhile, ideal communist towns, those wannabe paradises on earth, are always built all of a sudden, usually in the places where human beings never had set in their food before. Intended to be superhuman, places of life of Übermensch, finally they end up as humanless places, non-places. But maybe it's just because those towns are built in the wrong locations. So, where is paradise then? Think a bit. Paradise is up. Going up attracts human beings because it means moving paradise-wards. When I get to paradise, must go up. Up where? Up to the sky. So we tried going up to the sky very high, but still haven't reached the paradise. The conclusion? It must be higher than we can reach. Higher than this life, says the religion. What do? Down with such religion. We cannot reach that high. We need the religion that would let us make paradise on this world. So, how do we go as high as we can on this world? It's either up to the north or up the mountains. Now, The top of the mountain is really just like paradise. Pure, white, hardly reachable and noble. But mountains are everywhere, even in the south, like this mountain, Kilimanjaro in Africa. And paradise cannot be in the south because south is down and north is up, so you must seek for mountains up in the north as possible. Northern Pole is the northernmost one can get. But there are no mountains on the top of the world. So as no one can stand on the mountain top on the North Pole, this man flew over it, as high as a mountain top would be. His name is Amundsen, and the Zeppelin was called Norway, because Amundsen was Norwegian and because he flew from Norwegian island called Spitsbergen. Spitsbergen is the northernmost habitable place on Earth, and there are really nice mountains. So we already know where to carry our tools for building paradise on Earth. Spitsbergen. That's a Dutch word because it was Dutch Willem Barents who discovered the islands. Spitsbergen, he said when he saw those mountains. Spitz, pointed. We already know where they are pointed at. Bergen, mountains. Barents likes these pointed mountains very much. But he doesn't like polar bears who live here, and the dislike is mutual. So he gives Spitsbergen to Norwegians who like polar bears very much, but they don't like the name Spitsbergen. So they rename it into Svalbard, cold coast. Cold it is indeed. It's too cold even for Norwegians, so they start mining coal to make it warmer. When Dutch hear that it's warm enough, they come again, try mining coal themselves and selling it. They also sell polar bears. Dutch try to make profit in Spitsbergen. Dutch are Protestants. Protestantism says, try to make profit as good as you can, maybe you'll go to heaven if you succeed. But they forget that heaven must be built right here in Spitsbergen, so they only succeed in making profit out of selling their coal mines. They sell them to Soviets, who don't care about profit but care about building heaven here, making the Garden of Eden while mining coal. Now, what do you need for the Garden of Eden? Sun, first of all. Here, sun never sets down for 4 months. It shines without heating, but you have a free central heating, so why do you care in your apartment, which is also for free? Oh yeah, once it finally sets down, it doesn't show up for 4 months either. But who needs sun when you have Aurora Borealis during polar night? Aurora. Just like the cruiser that signaled the assault of Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, signaled the revolution that will end up by creating paradise on Earth, utopia materialized, or material utopia. Schools, swimming pools, gyms, canteens, public transport, parks, hospitals, everything for free. Things that are not for free, you easily buy them with your super high Arctic salary. The precious attributes of the Garden of Eden, you buy them. Tropical fruits, for example. 10 rubles for a kilo of oranges. It's the same price my uncle Juozas Katinas pays for a kilo of oranges. He also works as a miner. He doesn't live in the Arctic though. He lives in Inta, Siberia, but it's also deadly cold. So they bring oranges to Inta, Siberia as well and pay Arctic salaries to miners. Juozas Katinas buys lots of oranges. Juozas Katinas literally means Joseph the cat. But in Inta, Siberia they are used to writing your surname before your name. Katinas Juozas. So it's Cat Joseph. Cat Joseph the miner. Cat Joseph the miner can even rent a helicopter and fly to Taiga to pick up cranberries. Rent a helicopter just for that. Such a big salary. He tells me that in 1989, during a summer vacation in Kaunas, Lithuania, on a shore of artificial lake made after damming up the biggest river of Lithuania, Nemunas, it needed to be dammed for the construction of Kaunas hydroelectric power station. Hydroelectric power station cannot explode like Chernobyl, so it's peaceful and safe, on that lake which is called Konamaros, the Sea of Konas. Cat Joseph looks at that sea and tells me about the helicopter and oranges in Inta, Siberia, where he gets his huge miner's salary. But Cat Joseph isn't from Siberia, he's from Lithuania. He's been deported there with his parents in 1948 by Stalin. He hates Stalin. He doesn't hate Siberia though. He grew up there. He says he has a lovely Russian wife in Siberia. And there are oranges. There are no oranges in Kaunas, Lithuania in summer 1989. So when summer is over, Cat Joseph goes back to Inta, Siberia. But next summer he doesn't come back. Meanwhile, lots of Lithuanians do, because Soviet Union collapses. Mining industry collapses. In Inta, Siberia. In Barentsburg, Spitsbergen. Moscow stops sending them money. Oranges are gone. Love is gone. Cat Joseph has so much longing for love. He loves her even more when she leaves him. You know how it goes. Chet Baker knows.
You don't know how hearts burn for love that cannot live yet never die, until you faced each dawn with sleepless eyes. How could you know what love is?
So according to Chet, Cat Joseph really knows what love is. But can Joseph sleep? Joseph can't sleep. Can Joseph eat? Joseph can't eat. Can Joseph write? No. He stops writing to us. Cat Joseph disappears in Inta, Siberia, which is as cold as Spitsbergen.